At Dairylea Cooperative, we take pride in our membership. Our members are among the most loyal, diverse, resilient, and well-managed dairy farms in the Northeast. Together, they create the fabric that makes up Dairylea Cooperative. It is with great honor that every year we recognize members who embody the ideals of hard work and commitment with the Pride of Dairylea Award. Applauded for attitude as well as accomplishment, Pride winners are progressive and positive in their approach to dairying. Their farms are well-managed and well-maintained with a focus on producing quality milk. While these farms are different in size, location, and business direction, they join together in our membership with a greater purpose. We are proud to call these farms Dairylea members and recognize them as the 2013 Pride of Dairylea winners. Just down the road from scenic Letchworth State Park in Castile, New York, sits Table Rock Farm, a fourth-generation dairy farm that is owned and operated by the DeGoyer family. Through the decades, the farm has continued to grow in both ancestry and best practices. Originally started by Scott DeGoyer, the family farm moved down the road when his son Calvin and his wife Edith purchased a small farm on the current stretch of land.
She put her heart and soul and took a great chance on me, and we bought this little farm here of 116 acres.
Today, the farm is operated by Cal, his nephew Willard, and great-niece Megan.
I was one who was out at the farm from about, as soon as I could get around, and I was doing chores at 6, 7 years old, and have always enjoyed the animals, the people, the growing crops, and enjoyed the farm very much all my life.
Over the years, with each addition to the family, the farm found ways to enhance their operation, establishing itself as progressive with the installation of a freestall barn in 1965 and a new parlor in the 80s.
So we had to develop a step-by-step basis to where we could put in this double 20 herringbone parlor that you all have, which is largely run by one person. We fit the people, the land, and the buildings around that facility, so we're running that 24 hours a day. That's the most expensive piece of equipment we have, and so we want to use the equipment as efficiently as we can on the farm.
In 1996, Willard's daughter Megan was interested in working more seriously on the farm. A recent graduate of Cornell, Megan was brought in on the partnership of the farm. Megan and her husband Rick live in the nearby town of Perry, New York, where they're raising their 3 sons. Also involved in the operation is Megan's youngest brother Joe. One of his special interests is the calving pen. Megan's uncle David and brother Avery work with Western New York Crop Management and advise the farm on cropping decisions. Today, the farm has 32 part-time and full-time employees working more than 1,800 acres of land and milking approximately 1,000 cows, averaging 85 to 87 pounds per cow.
We're extremely fortunate to have very talented and skilled employees. When we hire a person here, we think that's one of the most important decisions we make as a business, is the people that we bring on.
Our key managers have been here about 28 to 35 years. We just have a wonderful, thoughtful, very informed staff of people working with us on the farm. More than anything, the secret to success on this farm is everyone working together. The breadth, the length, the dedication of the employees that we have here, and the abilities that they bring to the farm, and the excitement that they bring to the farm to make everything work on a daily basis.
Megan's and Willard's excitement about their employees has enabled the farm to successfully complete the NYSCHAP Animal Welfare Module, become an even more efficient operation, and produce high-quality milk. As a result, the team at Table Rock not only enjoy their jobs, but also have respect and appreciation for the DeGoyer family.
They've made sure that everybody's real happy with their working conditions to the best that they can, and I think it turns around and shows in the way that, how the cows are.
They let you know when you're doing a really good job, and when you're hearing that constantly, it just always makes you want to work that much harder.
They do a lot of extra things that the farm themselves, they don't benefit from, that an individual worker benefits from.
Aside from their focus on their employee talent, there are several other unique attributes to this Wyoming County farm. Namely, the farm has been practicing an alternative technique of tillage called zone tillage.
and we adopted that form of tillage, and we've been doing it ever since. It's been about 15 years probably.
I think the first year, 8,000 gallon tank of fuel when we quit plowing and went to the zone building.
What also sets this farm apart from others is its promotion of the farm and the dairy industry as a whole through various school group tours, good relationships with their neighboring community, and the farm's social media presence.
If you looked around the farm where we're standing right here, you wouldn't say we have a lot of neighbors, but each spring I go and deliver neighbor letters to anyone that touches any of the fields that we work, and that amounts to about 120 people right now. Another thing that we've done, our Facebook page, at the time I didn't know it would serve this purpose, but it's worked quite well for neighbors and even people further away that want to ask questions about farming but either don't know someone they can ask or don't feel comfortable asking their farmer neighbor.
The DeGoyer family and their team members have done so much to put their farm on the map as one of the most efficient and productive farms in western New York. Working closely with Dairylea, Megan and Willard utilized testing services through Dairy One, purchased farm supplies through Eagle Dairy Direct, and in the past have utilized Agri-Services Agency's workers' compensation. Looking into the future, Megan and Willard are working to meet the challenges of tomorrow's dairy industry. Together with their outstanding team of employees, they are setting the more than 1,000 cow dairy farm up for success in the future.
I think in today's America, if a child is raised by a carpenter or plumber or farmer, they have a chance to work with older people and they have something they can't take away from them.
I think that being a farmer means doing your best to take care of the living things around you, whether it be crops, cattle, things like that. I think it means being aware of the impact you have on others, whether they be employees on the farm, whether they be your neighbors.
It is these inherent values that represent the ideals of our cooperative. Dairylea is proud to name the DeGoyer family and Table Rock Farm as one of its Pride of Dairylea winners. Nestled in the beautiful hills of Luzerne County, overlooking the valley of Wapwallopen, Pennsylvania, is the Bloss Family Farm. Spanning 235 acres, this seventh-generation dairy farm sits above the original foundation, which dates back to 1868. Currently managed by Barry Bloss and his son Jeff Bloss, the farm has undertaken many transformations through the years.
The original house wasn't any of these buildings. It stood back here in the woods. The foundation of the old barn is still there. Other than that, the traces of that are all gone, but we've been here a long time.
Barry Bloss was born and raised on the same farm as his father and ancestors before him. Getting an early start on the farm as a child, Barry started helping his father Wilbur with smaller chores, and before long, he was involved in the day-to-day dairy operations.
The farm's always been interesting to me. It's, I guess, kind of a cliche, it's a way of life, but that's what it's been.
Throughout the years, Barry found and married his wife Diane. Together, they have two sons, Justin, the younger, a manager at a heavy equipment dealer, and the older, Jeff, who has taken an interest in his family's line of work the same way his dad did.
I guess the bug had bit me, and it just made for, I guess, a different style of growing up. What a lot of people think of as work, I guess, is kind of fun to me. And it just became very interesting.
Throughout school, Jeff was responsible for helping with the morning and evening milkings, only being excused for the occasional exam or event. Jeff was able to work on the farm through his first 2 years of college at Penn State Hazleton. However, in 2001, when he transferred to Penn State University Park campus for the remainder of his education, he was unable to also work on the farm daily.
Luckily, my dad and my grandparents kept the operation going with about 32 to 40 cows at the time in the old facility. And then when I returned in 2003, I guess the main focus was getting the ground in good shape to raise a decent amount of feed on the land base we had, and we kept building the land base up from there.
When Jeff returned to the farm, the family decided it was time for a new facility.
We decided it was time to build a new facility with better environment and cow comfort, and that was worker friendly, and of course increase our numbers to make it worthwhile.
Jeff has offered a new outlook on the family farm, and initiated intentions to help grow the operation to what it is present day. He pitched the idea to his father to build a larger freestall barn a few hundred feet away from where their current barn stood. The plan had its risks, but Jeff was certain this was the best idea for their business.
I could see that the dairy bug was embedding itself a little deeper into Jeff all the time. And we were in our old facility. It was an old stanchion barn inside of an old bank barn. The barn was built in 1868. I mean, there was no conveniences there. It was nice in there, but the environment just wasn't right for us. It wasn't right for the cows. We were down on our knees milking. When I realized like I said, the bug was biting him even harder, we decided it was time to do something. We talked it over. We said, this is going to be a big step for us, but let's take it. And we, August of 08, it's just been 5 years now, we started construction of the barn. We moved in March of 09, and we've never looked back. We had no regrets.
Donna Van Horn, certified dairy inspector and field representative, was on hand to assist with the moving process, but attests that the Blosses knew what they were doing from day one.
From the old barn, the transition up to here, the cows were in a very small freestall barn, and it was very crowded, and they come up here to a lot more airy, more roomy. It was very easy transitioning the cows, though, because I was here when they moved them.
Today, the farm has a 72-stall freestall facility with a doubled 6-parallel parlor milking 80 cows. They farm approximately 235 acres of land, growing all of their own feed.
We feed a total mixed ration to our dairy herd. Mostly, we do component feed some dry hay. The TMR consists of one wet round bale a day, which is mainly alfalfa grass mix.
With the success of moving their herd up the hill into their new barn, Jeff has been able to bring new efficiencies to the farm and is actively looking for opportunities to improve production per cow and quality.
My future plans are, we've now gotten to the point where our freestall facility we built in 08 is full, and now is to call out to increase our production per cow and keep somatic cell low, and just in general cut labor time down, because labor is probably the biggest factor for trying to expand anything. We may expand another 24 stalls in the existing building in the space we have in the next several years, but at this point our focus is just on improving what we have.
Jeff agrees that having family close by is a bonus to the work he does.
Well, I'd have to say my favorite part about farming here is my family. It gives you a place where you have a home base that you can stay at. They're great to work with. You have, I guess, the appreciation of growing a good crop or bringing on a new herd of animals. I wouldn't have it any different.
Diane Bloss wouldn't have it any other way. Married to Barry for 37 years and raising a family on the farm calls upon many talents, including managing things that may get overlooked.
My role on the farm is to try to take care of everything, like mowing lawn, taking care of things around the house so that they have time to do the farming.
Her time on the farm has allowed her to see her boys grow up and watch as their own talents emerged. But more importantly, she has recognized that feeding the world is a great responsibility and a gift.
I am proud to be the wife of a dairy farmer. I'm very happy, and I look around and see the views from the farm, and when I see the corn growing, and I see the hay growing and everything, and I'm thinking to myself, how lucky am I?
The love of farming, a passion for best practices, and a commitment to family have all added to the recognition of the Bloss family farm as a pride of Dairylea Farm. Dairylea Cooperative is proud to name Bloss Family Farm a 2013 Pride of Dairylea winner. Situated on the beautiful rolling hills in eastern New York sits Allen Waite Farms, a 7th-generation dairy farm in Rensselaer County. Originally settled by David Waite in the early 1840s with only 2 cows, this generational farm has seen a lot of change over the years. Today, the 2,300-acre farm is currently managed by George Allen, his sons Aaron and Travis, and his nephew Ethan. George decided to attend college at Cornell University, and in 1973 returned to the family farm, coming with some new ideas.
When I got home from school with a set of plans that basically would use all the family savings and plus half the bank's loan portfolio to start the next expansion.
George had to spend a little time convincing his father that an expansion was a good idea and that this was the right decision for the future of the family business. But finally, his father agreed. The new barn was constructed in 1974.
A few years after that, married my wife and had 3 strapping boys, and with a lot of prayer and everything else, 2 of the 3 decided that the family's work over the last 6 generations was something they wanted to continue with.
Aaron and Travis worked on the farm doing different tasks throughout their youth. Following in their father's footsteps, both boys studied animal science at Cornell University, while their cousin Ethan, who was also a partner on the farm, studied applied economics and management. Each of the boys returned to the farm to find their own area to specialize in.
We've kind of broken it up in the different main functions, whether it's a dairy overall and crop management, and also some shop and machinery as our fleet has grown over the years. My brother Travis pretty much handles the crop side of our business. I kind of tend to oversee the cow side. My cousin Ethan handles a lot of the special projects, the different construction that we're doing. And my father kind of gets to do what he wants and advise and consent almost at this point in his career.
George has come to rely on the Brain Trust crew, as he commonly refers to them. Their skill sets have contributed to growing and improving upon their farm's techniques and has helped open new doors for their dairy. Today, the family owns approximately 2,300 acres, with 1,500 dedicated to corn for corn silage and the balance for either alfalfa grass or grass for haylage.
I got back from college, the farm was probably milking about 400 cows, and we're currently milking about 1550, 1560.
With Aaron at the helm for the dairy side of the business, he's taken steps to improve cow comfort and efficiencies on the farm.
We started converting to sand in 2007. And then just recently here, this spring, we jackhammered out about 1,200 stalls and converted the rest of the stalls that weren't deep-bedded stalls to all deep-bedded sand.
Travis directs the farm's cropping and feed operations.
We had added cows and built a new milking parlor facility and had started to gear up our land mass, and there happened to be an opportunity to kind of fit a role, as some of my focus in school and coming up had been directed more towards the crop and nutrient management side of things.
Upon graduating, cousin Ethan found himself bringing value to the farm in unique ways. With a background in economics and management, Ethan leads special projects and works on the farm's machinery. More than a mechanic, Ethan has been able to find a spot in the operation that was greatly needed.
Ethan, who's my brother's middle son, inherited his father's mechanical aptitudes, and boy, we could use that on the farm.
Currently, the farm is in the final stages of completing another expansion. Planned and started in 2003 when Aaron returned to the farm following college, this 10-year plan has reached the last step, raising the final half of a new barn. The new barn is 200 feet long and will allow the family to add another 50 to 100 head. But the main goal is to help the farm run at their intended capacity and will give their milking herd more space and comfort.
It's been one of the things we've wanted to do for a little while. That we know some other farms that have done that, gotten their cow population spread out, and it just seems like there's a lot of benefits to that. So we're excited to complete that set of buildings.
There's a demand for milk, and any place there's a demand, I'm glad to try to fill that demand. There's going to be more people tomorrow than there is today. So for that matter, we have an opportunity to grow. I think technology has allowed us to do more things with dairy products, and certainly there's going to be more technology in the future. So for that reason, it's a great industry to be in.
Dairylea is and has been made the most sense from us, not just from a milk side, but also on the service side. We use the workers' comp program. We definitely use Eagle the most in our everyday purchasing.
For each of the Allen men, dairy farming isn't a job, but a lifestyle, and something to be very proud of.
The Brain Trust crew and my dad and myself, even though we have our arguments, at the end of the day, we all have the same common vision that we want to make this place better than it was before we were here. and that's what we're still aiming to do.
It's great working with family and having the opportunity to grow with them, having the ability to influence the decisions that take place. And you can actually look back at the end of the day or the end of the year and see what you've accomplished together.
The 8th generation is already in place and growing to learn the family business. Aaron and his wife Kristen have 4 children: Samuel, Georgia, Harrison, and Isaiah. Travis and his wife Samantha have 2 daughters, Lucy and Penelope. So what does it mean to the Allen family to be raising another generation to hopefully someday take over the family legacy?
It feels really good to be part of a family operation that's been here for a long time, and knowing that decisions that I make on a day-to-day as well as monthly, if not yearly, can affect the business.
Well, as a generational dairy farmer, I guess I've got it on my shoulders not to mess it up. And we've so far managed to do that. Sometimes there's a burden to a legacy, but at the same time there's great opportunity. And I feel like our generation has grabbed the bull by the horns, and we're moving and shaking things, and we're pretty excited about both where we've been and where we've come from and where we're going.
Dairylea Cooperative is proud to have Allen Waite Farms as a 2013 Pride of Dairylea winner. Table Rock Farm, Bloss Family Farm, and Allen Waite Farms represent what it means to take pride in dairy farming. They are members who, through hard work, dedication, and foresight, were able to seize opportunities, create successful operations, and through their accomplishments, serve a larger purpose: to feed the world. We congratulate Table Rock Farm, Bloss Family Farm, and Allen Waite Farms as the 2013 Pride of Dairylea winners, and are proud to call them Dairylea members.